is an ongoing crisis. And yet, if we think about the AIDS quilt or the New York City AIDS Memorial, or even memorials across Canada to HIV, we're already trying to grapple with it as something in the past. There's treatment for the virus, but there's no treatment for the stigma. So we try to change people's hearts and minds first by making sure that people living with HIV know that they are wonderful and do not deserve any stigma or discrimination. That's a big one. And then making sure that other people know that not only is the crisis still ongoing, but that it's stigma and discrimination that prevents people from getting the tests that they need and the treatment that they need and the other things that ensure that they can have what they need, like housing, like jobs, like romance. The only way you can tell history is with each other and with objects. So in 13 short conversations across the book, we think about objects of HIV cultural production that have been missed or do not get discussed enough. And then the second half of the book is really about the role that silence plays and how silence isn't the lack of sound, it is what happens when utterances get siloed. One thing that we understand is that no one gets HIV alone, so no one should have to deal with HIV alone, and that HIV is first and foremost a material reality, and if you're not engaging with this conversation IRL, then you're missing part of the point. So when we make space to disagree, when we have hard conversations and don't try to change each other's minds, but just try to air our truth, beautiful things can happen. Once you know the basics, if you never care about HIV again, that is all right, but I need you to commit to being anti-racist. I need you to commit to not being misogynist. I need you to commit to working on your ableism. I need you to commit to working on your xenophobia. And if you do all of those things, and we each do all of those things, then the HIV crisis will end. Be decent and see where that takes you. I think that I understand myself as a Canadian in a way that I never would if I had stayed in Canada, and people get a sense of what Canada is or who Canadians are when they meet me. This is a toque and not a beanie. That's a very big one for me. And I try to remind people that yes, Canada is awesome, yes, Canada is peaceful, all those things are true to a degree, but also please speak with Indigenous people and read Indigenous literature and see what they have to say about Canada, and speak to newcomers to Canada and see what they have to say about their journey there. New Yorkers are the kindest, most generous, most helpful people that you'll ever meet. Their faces will tell you that they're grumpy and mean and don't want to help, but that is just actually a defense mechanism because all they want to do is help. St. John the Divine, the grounds on the Upper West Side are really beautiful, and if you get to see the peacock, that means you're going to have a great day.